Guess what I'm doing? Waiting in line for Canes. Alright, so yeah, you probably can't see me, but I'm waiting. I'm at the drive thru for Canes. I'm waiting in line. Yeah, this is like bad. They really need to work on like the next time they build a Canes. Damn, you cannot see me. But the next time they build a Canes, they really need to freaking leave a long, like, they gotta build it at the corner of the strip mall and then leave a perimeter around the strip mall. Fuck, you can't see me. That's right. Okay, now you can see me. Okay, but what I was saying is, okay, so what I was saying earlier was that next time they build a Canes, they gotta, so they usually build them like strip malls, right? So what they gotta do is, so we got, I'm gonna draw this because like I'm not even like, this is probably even like the worst idea ever, but what they gotta do is they gotta build the Canes in one corner of the little strip mall block, and then take the perimeter of the whole strip mall area and leave it as like the line for Canes, but it's like, you know, like a whole block long. That way, like, people aren't like taking up space in the parking lot, blocking the fire lanes like I was right now. Like, that's dangerous. What if there was a fire at Canes right now? No one could escape, or there'd be panic and we all get stuck with like our cars, you know, or the firemen wouldn't be able to get in. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm contributing to the problem. Obviously, I'm here in line at Canes because I'm hungry. My fridge doesn't work. I'm addicted to chicken, and my parents enable my bad spending. So I don't blame my parents. I blame myself. But I really do think, like, because I think I have an addictive personality, or compulsive, you know, either one. I do tend to overdo things. I tend to take things to the extreme. Sometimes one of those things, well, for a long time it was food. I used to like, oh, well, trigger warning, I guess. I still do this occasionally, but um, I used to be a really bad binge eater. Um, and I feel bad saying this, but it's true, and this is my personal experience. But no, actually no, it's just me. I can't blame nothing. It's me. It's all me. Like, every time I want to blame something now, I tell myself no. I'm throwing blame at that thing because I don't want to admit that it's my fault, that, you know, I'm aware of this stuff, that I do know, I realize I have the ability to change it, and blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm trying to absolve my guilt from being in line here, obviously, or rationalize it. I don't know, I've been feeling a lot of things lately, and it's been very chaotic inside my brain. But at the same time, ooh, someone's smoking over there. But anyways, at the same time, my brain's been chaotic, but at the same time, I feel like all this chaos is kind of bringing me some clarity too. Because I've been thinking of things and like, um, I guess facing things, I guess, that I haven't been facing for a while. And, you know, one of them is my accountability in like my life. And, you know, I've been trying to take accountability, and at first I didn't want to. You know, it's hard. Nobody wants to take accountability for their own life because, let's face it, you know, sometimes shit happens and you can't control everything. And, you know, sometimes things hurt. Like, they hurt so bad. Like, things you wouldn't expect to hurt. They hurt so bad. And, you know, that pain holds you back for a while. But, you know, eventually you get out of it, or find a way out, or, you know, find a way to make things easier. But, you know, it happens to everyone. Like, you know, we're all human. We all experience things, and we all feel things differently. We're all different, and everybody forgets that. Everybody forgets that different realities exist, and um, yeah, I'm just like waiting in my car and not doing anything. But I'm feeling awkward now because somebody is like facing me with their car, and their like headlights are like shining into my car. So I'm like, oh no, they can see me. They can see me talking to my phone. They think I'm crazy. I'm all by myself. But that's just my brain telling me that. But I forgot what I was saying anyway. I forgot what I was recording. Oh, because I just want to kill time here in the drive-through. And also because when I record, it's not planned. It's just I see something and I'm like, ooh, that looks interesting. I want to show other people. Because I feel like I do that a lot. I notice little things in my everyday life that I feel like most people would just pass by, or like if they see them, they're like, oh, it's just there. You know, me, I try to add meaning to that stuff sometimes, even though a lot of times I probably shouldn't, but I still do. Like, because if you really think about it, everything can have meaning. Anything can have meaning. Things that are like, that you believe are so meaningless and so like just a waste, they still have meaning behind them. They still do. Like, I feel like one thing I like to think about a lot that, other people have pointed out before is like, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't plan this, so I'm not gonna. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. Oh, I'm in the actual drive-through now, so I'm getting closer. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. So one of the main reasons I come to Cane's is because they have lemonade, and the dude was like, "We're out of lemonade," and I was like, "Okay, I'll just take a Coke." Oh yeah, I got a box combo because I'm really hungry, and like, I think I'm gonna stay up because, I don't know. It's like almost 9:30 right now. Um, I don't know, like, plus there's like another thing on my mind. Like, there's a lot of things on my mind right now, but I don't know. Like right now, I'm sober. Like, well, maybe not 100% sober, but like I haven't gotten high since like this morning, which was like 12 hours ago, and that's the longest in like a while. Like, I was low-key going pretty hard last night. Like last night, I only filmed myself like doing a dab and eating edibles, and I was like, yeah, I want to go to club downtown with my friend, but we didn't go because what happened? Oh yeah, I picked her up, and she was actually waiting for her younger brother to get off work. So, cause she drives him home and stuff. So, we were gonna give him a ride home first. But he didn't come out till like midnight almost because he works at like a really nice. He works at a nice. I want to say like the $3 restaurants on Google, if you know what I'm saying. Um, yeah, he works on one of those, and apparently they let the patrons, like the people who come and eat, they let them stay past closing times because, you know, they are paying customers. And, people, when people are grateful, they show you with money. At least, if they have it. But, yeah, basically we waited for, like, some people to finish their dinner and, like, for the employees to close. And then, like, yeah, we finally picked up her brother, went home. Sorry, that was, like, a really long tangent. Sorry, I had to make sure oh, look, there's no one in the drive-through. Well, it's because it's already late, so like you know how they close like certain areas down, so it's like easier to close down, I guess, altogether. But what I was saying was, oh yeah, so it took forever picking up the homie. Somebody's right there. Well, she just came to get some bread, but oh my god, I'm next. And I'm recording myself. Okay, I'll finish this story when I'm back in my house and I'm eating chicken. So I watch a lot of YouTube, like a lot. But I mostly watch like kind of like I guess like opinion pieces and like people talking about stuff, um, and like just giving their takes. And right now I'm watching some guy talking about like I guess like people are dying, in like the fitness community, um, these people are like super healthy and shit. Like their diet, um, I don't know, their diet isn't like balanced. So like they do all this extreme stuff and like they die from it, which is crazy. And I'm like watching this while I'm eating canes. So I'm pretty sure it's the universe telling me that I gotta stop eating fast food. I mean, the only reason I'm eating it is because my fridge is not working, and I'm literally like too lazy to eat or like cook anything, or I mean like cook anything or make anything here. Anyways, I thought I was gonna say, damn, 27, 28, 34, 37. Oh, the title says young muscular people are dying, and in parentheses it says not steroids. But it's true. It's like, um, you gotta watch what you put in your body because, um, you never know. Like everyone's different. Not everybody is gonna react the same to like everything. Whether it's like physical, emotional, mental. Not everyone reacts the same way to the same things. And it's actually funny because, um, like earlier I was in the car. I was filming myself waiting in line for canes, and I was like, oh, I forgot what I was talking about now. Okay, I might have to go rewatch it, but I was saying like, oh, I'll like, I'll talk to you guys and like I'll record when I'm home and whatever. And once I stopped recording, I was thinking, I was like, wait, when I get home, because what I usually do is when I get food is I'll get food, I'll go home, and then I'm like, oh, let me watch TV while I eat because it's like, I don't know, because I live alone, so it's like, traditional, like, I guess traditionally, when you eat with people, so you don't watch TV. But, thanks to like, I don't know, thanks to the world being the world, um, not everyone has dinner all the time now together. People are like, trying to make a living and like busy, like, everyone's being like pressured to be productive. Um, and basically like, everyone's pressured to like perform and bring something to the table. And I keep going on tangents, but oh yeah. So anyways, yeah, I eat alone, so I watch TV while I eat, and that's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, but and like another thing is like, if you're like me, I'm trying not to be anymore, but I still catch myself at times. Like, um, I'm like an emotional eater at times, and there's times, like for a while, I used to like binge eat. It got really bad when I was living alone in my apartment last year. And then it was made worse because what I used to do, um, I still do it every once in a while, but like now I'm trying not to do as much because, um, like it just leads to other like bad things, and I get stuck in like this weird cycle. But now, like what I used to do is this is my routine. So back when I lived alone, I work at nights, blah blah blah. But it would be, I don't know, it'd be like a thing. Like it'd be like the end of the day, I did all the shit I was gonna do all day. Most of the time not really because I get lazy or whatever. I forget or don't have time. Things close early, stuff like that. But anyways, it'd be like the evening and it's like, oh, I should eat something. It's dinner time, I guess. I'm gonna eat something and then, oh, like, let me watch something on TV. Um, just to like, entertain me while I eat because, I don't want to eat in silence. Like, that's depressing, I guess. People tell you that's depressing. Eating alone, living alone, going to restaurants alone, going to movies alone. And people are like, oh, that's so depressing. Like, you don't have no one to go with. Like, I'm an orphan. Just kidding. No, I'm not an orphan. I just, like, I spend a lot of time alone. Um, but anyways, what was I saying? I keep going off tangent again. Anyways, what I was saying is, all right. So my whole point is something that I don't like catching myself doing, I guess, because I feel like I used to do this subconsciously, or like not really like thinking about it, not really like caring, I guess, how it really affects me in the long run. But yeah, I always watch something while I eat because it's like I don't want to eat in silence, I guess, because when it's silent, I'm alone with my thoughts, and when I'm alone with my thoughts, the bad thoughts start coming out. And if I let the bad thoughts like fester too long, um, then things are bad for me. And I keep looking at the TV. I need to turn it off. See, I suspect I might have like ADHD or something, but I don't think so either. At the same time, I think I'm just like other people. Like, we're so used to like, like a lot of people are used to like social media and their smartphones and like ads and things being like fast. Like now TikTok is like, a lot of people are like on TikTok. It's like super popular, and the thing about those videos is like they're really short. I think they're like a minute or less. Um, so people just want like stuff real fast, like instantly, and stuff like that. And I remember I used to be I used to be on the Reddit app all the time. Yeah, I would spend hours there just like looking at random stuff. And it'd be like kind of the same thing. Like I would mostly just look at the photos because like um me, I always love looking at pictures. Like I always love looking at pictures, looking at all the details, like who's in it, where was it taken, what time was it taken, where are they at, are they inside, outside, like what's around, like what's lying around in the picture, what's going on in the background, like what do you think happened before or after, and all that stuff. Yeah, I think a lot, but um yeah, I'll just click on the pictures just to see what's up, and like sometimes people will put posts and they'd be like kind of small, and I'll read it, and sometimes I get lost in the comments. And one thing I noticed, not just with that, with Instagram too, because Instagram is like, scroll next one, next one, next one. Yeah, like I used to spend hours and hours like looking through my social media, reading all kinds of people's stuff, looking at different stuff, and like I don't know, like thinking back now, thinking of how I used to be and like how I am now, like I feel like I'm gonna sound crazy saying this, but like I feel like I was a zombie. Like I was just like, you know, taking in everything, like accepting it as it was, and being like, yeah, this is that, whatever. Things will never change, and blah blah. The same thing people say all the time. Um, and it's like now, oh, cause like as I was saying in the car, like before, I didn't want to take accountability. Like that was the last thing I wanted to do, was admit I was wrong. And like thinking back now, like my whole life, like I feel like that was my fear, being wrong. I remember like being young and looking up like inferiority complex, like martyr, some dog, like stuff like that, and thinking like, wow, like that's so crazy. Like I think that's me, because like I literally be like, I will literally like, I used to literally want to die on a hill. Like that's how stubborn I am at times about things, like mostly things I care about, but and I'm still kind of like that with the people I care about, but um yeah, like I'm one of those people that's like stubborn, and like sometimes I don't want to change my ways, because like your ways are your ways. You get stuck in them for a reason, because they're your ways, because that's who you are, that's how you function in life. And I'm finally starting to see like how I function. It kind of started with journaling, but then it got more intense with like um I kind of blame me too, but um I don't know, you just think about stuff, and like once you start questioning things and like yourself, and like I don't know, just like um mm, I don't know, just like really questioning stuff, like instead of just like accepting like what's realistic or like normal, like just like instead of just like accepting like practical type of thinking. Like you're like, wait, but what if like this crazy thing happened, or what if this crazy thing happened, or what if I'm actually wrong? What if like the people that one of the people, but like what if like the ideas that I'm on the other side of, I'm actually on the wrong side of, or something like that. And for me, it was like in terms of um, like that was one thing. I never wanted to be wrong. Like I wanted to be right, and or not even that. I just didn't want to admit I was wrong. Cause like who wants to admit they're wrong? Like no one wants to be humble. I guess like no one wants to humble themselves. At least not in front of other people. And I mean, I get it. Like if you have, if like, well, I get it if you've been like forced to be humbled. Like like someone will just like you. I guess like maybe not someone like me, but like you clash with someone who's like really stuck in their own ideas and stuff and their own opinions, and like they're not gonna budge, and like they just want to pick fights with you. And um I don't know, I feel like sometimes you gotta deal with those people and like realize, oh, you know what, like they were just wrong. They were just like they like sometimes you just realize like there's some people out there that they'll start an argument with you not because they want you to change your mind. I mean, no one starts an argument because they want you to change their mind, but like instead of like trying to like okay, this sound super cliche, but instead of like people like trading thoughts and ideas and like just leaving it at that, not making a big deal out of it, like um instead of people doing that, like people take things like really seriously and like think that because you're different that you're attacking them and the way they are, um, or they get scared of that, because that's another thing. People fear what they don't know, and that's something I learned about myself, definitely. And then there's times where it's like, it's in your face. It's like, hey, you know, you can't really be like this because it's not gonna be good for you in the long run. And you're like, yeah, I know, but not today because I don't want to deal with it. So like, like I don't know, maybe it's like I don't know, like for me, I guess for me right now, it's like my unhealthy habits. Someone's outside, my window's open. But I know it's not like they're right there. I hope no one's looking. But anyway, what I was saying was like right now, one of the habits that's like staring me in my face and like telling me like, hey, don't be doing this, don't be doing that, like, it's just not healthy. One of those is eating, definitely. And I feel like it's not as bad as before. I feel like before, oh yeah, because as I was saying in the car, before I was like, I mean, I still am. I'm still kind of an emotional eater, and I still tend to like, I still tend to something I do a lot that I noticed recently, and like, I don't know, it's so weird for me because this never used to happen to me, but now I think now because I'm more aware and like, I guess I'm like more like not just more aware of my thoughts, but like my body and like how my body reacts to stuff. Like I was always aware, but now that I'm more aware, more noticing it, more caring, I guess I care about it more. Um, yeah, I'm starting to notice that like I used to be an emotional eater. I think I used to binge eat, but like I never realized like that that's what it was. Um, and like I feel like now that looking back, like this is the I feel I don't know, like I feel like this was bad when I was a kid because like I was a big kid. Um, but like but when I was a kid too, like my parents didn't really let me have junk food. Like my parents didn't have junk food in the house or like soda or like juice or stuff like that. Like sometimes my mom would buy it for us if we like begged her, or like once a week she would like get us something that we wanted. But most of the time, like for me, soda, candy, fast food, all that was a treat when I was like a kid. And like I knew my mom didn't let us have it all the time because it was bad, like sugar's bad, candy's bad, fast food is bad, you can't eat that every day, you have to eat in moderation. Like I knew that, but I also knew if I was an adult, I would just eat whatever I want. Let me say, be careful what you wish for because dreams too come true. Just kidding. No, but like, fast forward, I graduate high school and I ended up going to community college because I didn't have enough money for university. I didn't get any like scholarships or anything like that, and like, even though I'm a U.S. citizen and I get financial aid, it's like barely gonna cover like one class, in terms of like, university tuition. But it completely covered community college tuition, and whatever's left over, you get back to yourself like in cash. Um, and I didn't know that. Like, my parents didn't go to college. They didn't even finish high school. Like, I'm pretty sure both my parents, yeah, they didn't finish high school. Like, and so they didn't know either. Like, I remember applying to schools was so frustrating because I had no idea what to do. I had no idea who to talk to. I had no idea where to go. And like, I myself didn't want to do it. Like, cause I'm shy. Like, I hate. I don't know why. Like, I just don't like asking for things. I guess I want to do things myself, so I hate asking for help. Like, I like knowing that I can figure it out by myself. I guess, but yeah, I don't know. I just get so frustrated, and like my mom would go with me, and I'd be like, "You don't have to be here, mom. Like, I don't want people to see me with my mom here." Like, ugh. Anyways, um, what was I saying? Oh, but anyways, yeah, I got to community college, and luckily I got the Pell Grant, and that covered my like the first semester. It covered like, um, because community college. Well, when I went to community college, the credits were like $88, and full time 12 credits times 88. That's 880 plus 160, 176. 880 plus 176 is 9. 1006. 880, 196, 176. Someone do the math for me, but um, yeah, basically it was like $1,000 barely, maybe 1,500 with the books, and maybe a little bit more if like you lived on your own. Like that money probably would have helped, but I went to like an in-state college, so I was able to just like take the bus or like drive there. So I got all that money back. Like, and the Pell Grant was like I think it was like 5,000 for the school year. So every year we would get like 2,500, and then your tuition is only like 1,000. Books maybe with fees and stuff, it's maybe like 1,200, maybe up to 1,500 depending on how expensive the materials are. And like, so like whatever I got back was like basically like $1,000, and I've never had that amount of money before. Like the most money that I probably had was probably like, I don't know, like $400 that my parents gave me one time for like my birthday. Oh yeah, so that's another thing. Um, so I'm Mexican American. My parents were born in Mexico. I was born here, and I guess it's like a tradition that when you turn 15, you have a quinceañera, and I think that's more. I feel like that's more common in Mexico. Like I see it a lot here, especially here in AZ, because there's like a large Hispanic population, and I've been to like a lot of. But like it's funny because like I feel like I didn't know what a quinceañera was until I was 15, and like I started going to my friends, and I was like, oh, this is a thing. Like I didn't know about this. Like my parents didn't tell me about it. Like, so I didn't have one. They kind of asked me, and I was like, I'll take a laptop. At first I was like, you know what? Instead of quinceañera, I really want a laptop. Like, don't spend all that money on me. Give me a laptop. It's cheaper. And at first they were like, are you sure? And then I was like, yeah, I'm sure. And then I don't know. I feel dumb because my parents kind of tricked me. They're like, do you want a laptop or do you want money? We'll give you as much as like a laptop costs. And I was like, money. And I took the money, I spent it all on clothes at Hot Topic. What? I don't regret that though because it made me really appreciate the computer, our family computer when we finally got it. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, like I never had that much money before, $1,000, and anyways, like as soon as I got that money, like um, part of me was like, I gotta save it because I don't want like to waste it all on clothes again like last time. So I was like, I gotta save it, I gotta save it. Plus, I didn't have a car before, and like I take the excuse me, I would take the bus everywhere. So like the only thing I would really buy is like food or just like any other little things that I like. Like I would try not to spend it. Um, but yeah, mostly I would buy food, and then later on I got my license, and I ended up getting like my first job, which was just like doing alterations at this shop that I learned how to sew at. Um, but yeah, I don't know if like because I was an adult and I finally had money, I had more like freedom, I guess, like to choose what I wanted to eat. I could go out and eat with my friends, which is something I did a lot. Um, yeah, like I don't know if it was that or just me being an adult and like not really. Um, yeah, because actually also when I turned 18, I started like scheduling and going to my own doctor's appointments and stuff. So I had like more control over my body, I guess. Um, but I just remember like going out with my friends to eat, and we go to like buffets and stuff, or we go to like a restaurant, and I would like force myself to finish all my food, all of it. And I don't know if it was, I think part of it was because you know how people tell you like if you don't finish your food because you're full, people will shame you for it, which is not a good thing because first of all, the portions here are huge. Like they're huge. Like most like regular people should not be eating that much food. And like some of the stuff they have too, it's like ridiculous. Like there's so much like stuff like and I should probably put a trigger warning on this video because like this is probably gonna trigger someone with like eating disorders and stuff. Like one thing they tell you is not to label foods as good and bad. Um, but like definitely like too much of something in excess can be damaging to like a certain kind of like specific people like that probably can't handle it because we are humans, we have our limits. um and like I don't know if I'm just like finally being because I'm like I'm not that old, but I'm getting to that age where it's like if your lifestyle was unhealthy, this is when it's starting to catch up to you. Or I don't know, maybe I'm just like seeing those signs and I'm just like I think it's finally time. um I just hope they fix my fridge tomorrow because if they do, then I don't know, maybe by the grace of God I will have better eating habits. But I totally lost my steam. I really gotta start writing scripts for this. Hi, baby. Alright, so I spent 20 minutes recording a video and I didn't have no point. And like my food's been sitting here, it's like cold and like I think I ate like 2 strips, but still. So I was debating um whether or not like I should get high right now. No. Sorry, my cat's eating my food, but so I was debating whether or not I should get high right now because I don't know, I feel like I do have a habit now, like, oh, I'm gonna eat, okay, let's get high. Oh, it's time for bed, oh, let's get high. Oh, I'm gonna go see my friends, oh, let's get high. Oh, I'm gonna go to the store, oh, let's get high. Like, that's my brain, that's like my mindset right now. I can't do anything unless I'm high. And I don't know if it's because, I mean, it's probably like the whole dopamine chemical type of thing. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know, but I'm so like frustrated with myself. It's like, how do I let it get this bad? Like, but I know how to let it get this bad. I let myself let it get this bad. Like, you ever just like about to do something and you stop yourself because you know you're not supposed to do it, but you tell yourself you don't care anyway. So, and that you'll be fine, and like that you did before, so it'll be fine, and like you just do it again anyway. That's how I feel about getting high now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel sad because I don't know. Oh no, it's my chicken. It's trying to eat my chicken. I don't know. I feel sad because it's like it used to be just a thing I did every once in a while. Like it wasn't a big deal to me, but now it's like I can't live without it. And like I do it even though like I'm not even like wanting to do it. I just do it. And I remember that's how I used to eat too. Like I used to force myself to finish all my food. If I went to a restaurant, I didn't finish. I would take the leftovers home. Um, because I would feel guilty that, if I don't eat it, they're just gonna throw it away. Like I feel so guilty, and people would tell me to feel guilty. Like I'm pretty sure everyone's heard like, you don't eat that much, and people are like, or like you just don't want to eat something. I think it's more like that. Like you just don't want to eat it, you don't like it, and people will be like, oh, their children start. Sorry, they're starving children in Africa. It's like, why? Because I don't eat this food. Because I don't eat this like nasty stuff that you just fed me. Because I don't eat this milk, even though I'm lactose intolerant. I'm not lactose intolerant, but I'm just saying like people have allergies, like you know. But it's like hot dogs. I think someone's cooking out there, but yeah, they're making hot dogs. But anyways, what I was saying. Oh yeah, I'm struggling right now with like my relationship with I guess weed. Um, I've been wanting to take like a tea break for a long time, and I kind of did. Um, because after I quit my job back in February, like a week later, I applied to where did I apply to Vail, and I got it right away. But then they were like, "Oh, you have to take a drug test," and I was like, "Oh, like I forgot they give you drug tests like before you start a job." And like the only reason they gave me a drug test for this one was because it's a service for medical patients. So, they don't want nobody like messed up, like driving and stuff. Like definitely I get that. Um but I forgot about that, like that they test you like if it's not like a like that's the thing I've seen before. Like people say like um I don't know, it's like a whole thing, like, they're always drug testing like employees who don't make that much money, and sometimes it's like kind of used as a way to fire them. I'm pretty sure this is like all part of like someone's I don't know, it has to do with politics. But anyways, what I was saying. Oh, like the last time I technically took a tea break was I think it was for a week back in like the beginning of March. Oh no, the end of February, the last week of February. I took like a little tea break, and I remember like I don't know if it's because the tea break was forced. I mean, probably because of that, and also because I've been using it really heavily lately, like, and I've been using concentrates. So, I don't know if it's that too, like, I mean, it's probably just both, like, a combination of things, but, um, yeah, that tea break was so hard, like, it was barely a week, like, I barely lasted a whole week, barely, and I remember the whole time just thinking, like, when can I get high again? Like, when can I get high again? And it was, like, really bad, and I was, like, I don't know, I was, like, worried for myself, because it's, like, am I always gonna need this? Like, what if I have to take a tea break in the future? Like, what if I got pregnant? Like, would I be able to stop? I don't know. Like, I feel like I could, but like I couldn't even stop for a job. Like, but then again, like I don't really care about that job, so I don't know if it's that or just I have a problem. Like I do have a problem, obviously. I don't know why I keep denying it or talking like I don't, but I do. Um, yeah. Oh, but like the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because it's kind of like the same thing with food, like and a bunch of other things, like shopping. Sometimes other people. Um, yeah, I get a little compulsive and like I take things to the extreme. Um, I think I do that because I'm just scared of like I guess I'm just scared sometimes that if I don't, that it's not gonna be worth it, or that I don't know, I wouldn't have experienced it as much as I could have, you know. And like right now, because the whole thing is like we can't be labeling. I don't know, like okay, no, I can't. I'm not about to say a general statement, but I feel like for most things that you have like a problem with, the solution isn't to stop them or cut them out from your life completely or like I don't know, it's not just to cut them off unless you're like in immediate danger, then maybe. But when it comes to things that you've gotten so used to that it's like a habit or like I guess in this case like an addiction for you, if you cut them off like out of nowhere and you don't have any other coping mechanisms, it's gonna be really really hard to cope, and you're gonna find yourself back into like the same place you were, like even if it means you put yourself in danger. And that's something I realized recently. Um, my relationship with like smoking and stuff, and not just smoking, like, because there's different ways to do it, but basically getting high, like, um, I just realized like, I feel like at first it was something that, like, before I even tried it, I was like, I just want to see what it's like, and then I wanted it to be something that I don't know. I just wanted it to be something I do every once in a while, and like something I do on my days off or with friends or something like that. But I turned it into like a coping mechanism for myself, especially when I lived in that apartment by myself. It's like every time I get sad and like lonely, um, I just get really high and like pass out, and like next day I'll wake and like, oh, I passed out, haha, watching TV, whatever. Um, but I remember it kind of became a ritual for me at one point because it's like it was so weird. It's like I think it was usually like Friday nights. I think yeah, Friday nights. Yeah, cause cause when I worked, I would have because I worked nights, but my nights off were Friday and Saturday night. And I remember Friday nights. It's like oh, like I have to sleep all day, stay up all night. So like Friday night would come around, it's like oh I gotta stay up and like keep my schedule, but like I'm not seeing my friend, like I'm not doing anything, I'd be alone like all night. And to pass the time I watch TV, but that only like that's only entertaining for so long, like um unless you get really into it, or that becomes like your new thing, I guess, just like how we became mine. But oh, and also because I moved out and I live by my own now, I was able to like smoke more because like when I was living with my parents, I would just vape, and also like I don't know, like I feel like vaping it'll get you kind of like a little bit high, but not too high where you can't function. It's like kind of like a buzz, I guess. So like I would feel that and be fine, but there were times where I would just keep going and going, and like I would pass out and be like, oh shit, I did too much. Um, That's another thing. Like I wanted to, when I first started, I wanted to like figure out what my limits were and stuff. Sorry, jumped on my food. Yeah, so before my cat like jumped on me, what I was saying was that when I first started like getting high, I guess, yeah, I wanted to know my limits were. That way, like I knew like kind of like how much I should do. I don't know. I would think of it as like, if I do this amount, then I'll be this high. If I do less, I won't be as high. I can still do this, and that. Like, it was really weird the way I thought about it. Like, I thought I could hack it, but it ended up, like, hacking me, I guess. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say. But, but yeah, I ended up overdoing it. Ended up using it as a coping mechanism for, every time I felt alone, every time I didn't want to think, like about me or my life, and like I don't want those negative thoughts to come. I would just avoid it by getting high, like passing out, just trying to distract myself, trying to create something else that I could focus on and keep myself busy with, basically, um, so that I wouldn't have to like be alone and like tell myself, oh, I'm alone because nobody loves me, and like I'm alone because I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm not good at making friends. My friends don't really like me. They're lying to me. Like they're just saying that they like me, but they only keep me around for this, and that. That was kind of like the script that was playing in the back of my mind. Um, those nights when I'd be alone and like, it's like all the excitement would die down, and it's like once everything was gone, and I was left by myself. This is what was playing in my mind. Like, it's so crazy. Like it's so crazy realizing that, and then realizing that, you know, you can change. Like, you don't have to stay like that. Like, you don't have to stay around the same people. You don't have to live in the same place. You don't have to, dress like this. You don't have to do that for a living. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. Like, and here I was like forcing myself because I thought everybody else was like basically like, um, but that kind of changed. Like, it's funny that kind of changed during quarantine when I stopped seeing people in my everyday life, when I stopped seeing the same people, and I started watching YouTube, and um, there's all these like weird people on there, and like I would look, I don't even know how I would get to these like things. Like sometimes they just pop up on your feed, and you watch them, and then by watching that, like some other weird out there stuff gets recommended to you, and then you can't help but watch it because it's like the thumbnail is so enticing. Like, I don't know, that's me. I fall for clickbait a lot. I was just like obviously like bad, then I'm like, ugh. But if it's like something, if it's like, if it's like one of those things where like people are sharing like secrets and stuff, or like, this is my experience and blah blah blah, like I can't help it. I need to know. Like, um, I feel like I'm always looking for like the truth, I guess. Like if I feel like I'm not getting it, um, because then there's those times when it's like I've had people lie to me, and I'm like, I know you're lying. I can tell. Like the way you look right now, the way you act, the way you're making me feel doesn't match what's coming out of your mouth. Like I don't know. It's so weird. Um, and it's creepy because, um, oh man, I told somebody once. I told them I was like, I know when someone's lying to me. Like I can feel it. And like 2 days later, like I caught them lying to me, and I was like, yeah, I caught you. Like I told you. Like I know when people are lying to me. Like I find the proof eventually. If it's not like there, like sometimes I find it just lying around, and if not, I'll see because like I said earlier, I notice details. I notice little things that other people would be like, oh okay, like they see it and they're like whatever. But me, I'm like, why is it there? Like how come I notice this? Like was this always there? Like that's the road my mind goes down. And yeah, I've got some people lying. about stuff that sadly it's mostly been in relationships, like romantic relationships. Like I've caught a lot of people lying, um, or not just lying, just not telling me everything, like being shady. Like I don't know, you can just tell like something's up, like something doesn't add up. Like I could just tell, and then like it's like the proof would show up in my face, and it'd be like, oh, and then after that, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this isn't working. I have to go. And then after that, like I start formulating a plan to get out of that situation. Um, yeah. But sadly, like some of those times, it really took something to be right in my face for me to know, like, and like notice and like realize. Um, because like I said, I have like an addictive type of personality, and it's not just for things; it's for people. Like I've been obsessed with people. I've been like crazy about people, like feeling like I can't live without them, and it's like I don't know. I thought it was just me. I thought maybe I have a lot of love to give, but now looking back, I'm like something was wrong with me because here I was throwing myself to these people, and it's like I really shouldn't have. Like I ended up getting fucked over in some situations, like and like people would tell me, I'm like, no, you're wrong because like they really love me and like they wouldn't do that, like that's wrong, like but no, they were doing it anyway, so yeah, lucky that made me give up on love for like a minute. um but I feel like sometimes if you're I guess if you're like me, you're kind of naive and you're stubborn, and you'll die on that hill. You'll die on that hill for someone even though like they fucking wronged you, like you don't care, you still love them, you feel like they're gonna find it in their heart to like be a better person, just because you're giving them enough chances, and then eventually you realize, yeah, um, I'm just making a fool of myself here. I gotta go, and that's when you burn the bridges. Um, I personally am not a fan of burning bridges. I've only burned bridges with maybe like 3 or 4 romantic connections, which is sad. But they've all been pretty recent, so that's not too bad. I had to do it for like just my mental health because um, yeah, these people just weren't taking accountability, and I had to do it for myself. And now I'm doing it for like now I'm not doing it like to like get out of a situation. Now I'm doing it for myself, for like my own health, my own like just my own just to have a better life because um up until like maybe just like well, I don't know, I feel like I've mostly been optimistic throughout my life, and my relationships kind of like clouded that for a minute. Um, and now I don't know, like I still want to put myself out there and stuff, but now I know I gotta be more careful, like, and also like I gotta get to know myself better because a lot of those times, like the reason I was in those situations was because, um, I don't know, I could just sense like if someone needed something more than I did, and I just like I don't know, I just put myself on the back burner a lot because um I don't know, I feel like I could perceive a lot of things that a lot of people can't. And I may be wrong sometimes. Um but it could also just be, like people just aren't being like themselves and like honoring themselves. Like I know I didn't for a long ass time, but um it's always easier to see that in other people than in yourself though. So but now I'm finally like kind of starting to see it in myself. And it's funny because I don't know, like sometimes something I realized too is like once you acknowledge like I mean this is just me, but like once you acknowledge your own faults and like you do take accountability for like yourself and stuff like that. Um I don't know, me personally, I feel like it's easy to like um I don't know, I just see because me I don't know, like me like the reason I get so crazy about people sometimes is because me, I see myself in everybody. Like I see a little bit of me in everybody. Whether it's, we like the same thing, like we're born on the same day, we have the similar interest. But a lot of times it's like we share like an experience and or we both kind of have like the same perspective or opinion or like ideas about like a specific experience, and like maybe it's not the norm, so it's like I don't know, it's like, oh, like I don't know, I just see myself in people, and like I don't know, there's just times where it's like I see someone and it's like I don't know, we share a lot in common, we have a lot of the same um like thoughts and feelings, and it feels like we're the same, and that's why I get a little crazy about them, like um especially if they share like the same, I guess, sentiment, like they also feel like me knowing that, I feel like me knowing them is a privilege, and like them knowing me is a privilege. I don't know, I'm not making sense here, but what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say like I don't know, just the point is like I see myself in everybody. Like whenever people like say things about themselves that I don't know, maybe it's like new to me or like kind of intriguing, I guess. Um, I don't know, like picturing that person like doing the things they say they do, or like I don't know. I guess I just fantasize about how people are like when they tell me about themselves or when I first meet them. Um, yeah, and this is where like it can turn into like delusion. Like this is the parts I struggle with, like where I take it to the extreme. Like I'll see people in certain situations, and then I assume that's how they are in like the rest of their other areas of their life. But most of the time that's not true. Like, cause like I only seen them in one situation. I haven't seen them in others, or like I haven't been here long. I haven't known them long enough to form like a good opinion. But like just the way they make me feel, and like if their words and actions are lining up with how they make me feel, and like how I feel they're kind of coming off as, then Loki, I kind of like trust those people immediately, which is not, I don't know, it's like good and bad. It's good because I'll give people a lot of chances, like, and sometimes these people need them because you can tell they've been like, um, I just met a lot of hurt people, and like, I feel for them because, I know what it means, it feels like to be human and like hurt and like, I feel like no one cares, like, I know what that feels like, and like, since I take it to the extremes, like, I feel like no one should feel like that. So, whenever I see people down and stuff, like, I can't just leave them alone. Um, you know, unless I feel like it's not safe for me, or like I really can't, like, I like, like, you know, and like, I used to feel guilty all the time for like not giving people money, not like, I don't know, I just felt so guilty for like not being a good person, I was always trying to be good. Um, but I took it to the extreme, and I, I thought that like I would think that if I was like okay, at least physically, then it doesn't matter like what other people do, because they'll know when they hurt me because they're just like me, right? Like I think that's how I used to think. But now I see that everybody's different. Everybody is different. Like it's true though. Like everyone's different. Everyone has their own stuff that they have to deal with, that they've been through, that they're working on, that maybe they're good at, maybe they're not, but that's just the way they are. And, um, you can accept it, and, you can accept it as it is, if it's not a big deal, if it is a big deal, this is the part where it gets tricky, especially for me. Like, if something's a big deal and it bothers you, um, like, you gotta bring that up. And I hate complaining. I hate bringing stuff up. I hate talking to people or like confronting them, I guess, or like confronting an issue. I shouldn't be saying confronting people. I should say confronting issues. Um, and I feel like part of it is like I don't want to admit I have an issue because I don't know, like I'm just scared that I'm scared of retaliation, I guess. I don't know if I've always been like this, and it's like the one thing I'm still trying to figure out. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I've always been shy and like afraid to ask questions, like in class or even to like my parents. And like my parents, I know it's because like partly because I don't want them to. I don't know. It's funny when I was younger. Like you know how you're young and like you might do something kind of bad and like you get away with it. Um, or maybe you're going through something and it's like maybe not exactly going through something, but like maybe you're in trouble, but it's like from a situation that you got yourself into, but like you didn't know it was gonna get you in trouble. Um, and maybe your parents warned you like not to do that. My cat's crying. Hold on, I gotta get my cat. All right, so I'm laying down now because I'm starting to get tired and it's like 1 a.m. But I just have a little bit more I want to say because I keep getting interrupted. But the last thing I was saying was, um, yeah, ever since I was a kid, I was scared to like ask questions, um, like in class, and also like I was scared to talk to my parents about a lot of things because, um, I don't know. I feel like part of it was I was raised Catholic, so um, I go to church a lot and like, um, I mean, my parents weren't religious, but I remember like being a kid and learning about religion and life and death and God and heaven and hell and um when you're a kid like people will tell you like, oh, don't do that, like that's a sin, you're gonna go to hell, or like Mexican people be like, um I don't know if my parents ever did this, but like I've seen like at the store and stuff or like at other places like um parents will try to get their kids to like go with them, like, come on, we're leaving, let's go, come on, all right, I'm gonna leave you there, and then like the cucuy is gonna get you, and you're like, no, like I don't know if my parents ever did that, but um, they try to scare you, like especially in like when it comes to like religion and stuff, and like being a good person, they try to tell you if you do all this stuff, you're gonna go to hell, but that doesn't work because if you say that to people and then they like realize they can get away with stuff, like they're gonna be like, hell what? Like who cares? Like I'm fine. I'm not dying right away. Like they don't care. And I remember like where was I? I don't know if I was in class or yeah, I was in class, some type of class. And they asked a question in the class that was like, I don't know why we were talking about like religion and stuff. And someone was like, "Do you feel like I don't know what the question. It was like a question like, do you feel like people should go to church once a week, or like do you feel like it's okay if people don't go to church all the time?" I don't know, some question like that. And I remember like some people were saying like, yeah, I like going to church because it keeps me like, they basically were like, it keeps me in check. Like if I know I'm going to church the next day, I won't sin the night before. Like what? It doesn't work like that. Like you should be good all the time. You should be striving to be good all the time. Like be a good person, make the world a better place because we already fucked it up pretty bad. Like, I don't know. Like, that shit gets to me. It's like, I mean, I get it. Like, you know, shit happens. people fuck up all the time, people fuck you over, and like you just want them to feel the way you did because you feel like if they knew, I don't know, you just feel like if they felt like how you did, like they would feel bad and like, they would know so they wouldn't do it again. Like I feel like that's how most people think about um I think that's how most people's train of thoughts are when they want revenge and shit like that. Like they just want you to feel the way they did because it hurts so fucking bad and like how dare you like what if someone did that to you? How would you feel? Like why did you do that to me? Basically, like that's how I feel about stuff and like um I don't know. I guess I really thought everybody else was like me. Like we were all like people like just trying to be good. Trying to get into heaven. Like that's what I thought for a long ass time. And then I don't know. It's so crazy. Like you meet these people and like you're just like, what? Like how can you live like this? Like no one told me you could live like this. Like those are the people that get you thinking and like questioning yourself. Um, Oh, but no, I was that person though for a while, cause like, or at least as a kid, cause I remember being like 7 years old. I learned what like heaven and hell was. I learned that like if you sin, you go to hell and blah blah blah. And I think I started going to like Catholic school, cause you have to go to like Catholic school to like learn. I don't even remember what they teach you. They gave you this little workbook and they gave me a little workbook and I just like colored it and filled it out and like um that's all I remember and like they talk about God and stuff and like they teach you the prayers and stuff. Um they basically prepare you for like your confession and your communion. Um and it's funny because when I did my confession, I confessed that I like to steal from people because I did when I was like 7 or 8. I was a freaking what do they call it? Anyways, I was a little thief. Like, and I remember, I know why I did it. Like, I remember being like, yeah, I was like 7 or 8. I was probably like 7, and I remember my mom. It's funny because when I was a kid, my parents would take me to like department stores to get clothes. Um, I don't know if it's because I don't know, like I don't know, it's so weird. I think they just wanted us to have really nice clothes that would last and stuff. Like I don't ever remember going to like, well, not really. I don't really remember going to like Walmart or anything, but we did used to go to Kmart though, so like that was kind of like Walmart back then. Cause oh man, I think my mom loved Kmart. Now that I think about it, um, cause here in Arizona, there's a ranch market on like 16th Street and Roosevelt. That used to be a Kmart a long time ago. And I remember my mom would take us there like all the time. There'd be a Little Caesars in there. Like that's where I would eat Little Caesars. I love Little Caesars. Well, I used to love Little Caesars because it just reminded me of like when it came out with my mom. And then they became all commercial and it's like it's so common now and everyone's like, oh, Little Caesars sucks and blah blah blah. But I don't know, Little Caesars just reminds me of like Kmart and like my mom taking us there and stuff. Like I was kinda nice, like um I don't know, it's kind of nice. Like she would take us there, and like sometimes she would leave us there so she could go shop because she knew we would stay there, and like they would have TVs and so we would just watch TV and eat pizza, and like she would just go real quick. Oh my god, I have memories of getting lost at Kmart, and I was like crying, and they called my mom on the intercom, and like I think it happened again. Like it happened twice. Like I even like I thought my mom left me one time. I walked out of the store, I looked for her, I didn't see her. I walked inside, I walked all over. Like I probably just missed her. Um, because I remember looking all over the store and I could not find her. And I like eventually I think I just I don't remember if I went up to someone and asked for help or I just started crying and someone helped me. But I remember my mom came and I started crying too. But what was I saying? I already forgot what everything I was saying. Crap! I keep doing this. I keep going off because like That's how my brain works. I'm talking about one thing and I remember one little detail and I'm like, oh yeah, this reminds me of this, this, and that. And it's like, shoo, 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 like I jump back and forth. But, oh yeah, religion and growing up Catholic. Oh yeah, but my mom would take us to department stores to get clothes. And I remember one time we were at, oh man, this was when Mervyn's existed. I feel so old. This was back when, uh, where is it? It's on, so in AZ, if you take the, I think it's like SR, no, I think it's like SR 51, the 51 that goes up and down. Um, the 51 and what is that street? I think it's Highland. There's like a, what is it? Like the library is there, and then there's like a floor and decor. That floor and decor, it used to be a Mervyn's. I don't know if Mervyn's exists anymore, but it used to be like another department store. Um, I forgot what I was saying again. Oh yeah, yeah. My mom took me shopping. Okay, this okay. This is the whole point. Yeah, my mom took me shopping at Mervyn's, and I remember there's this little keychain I saw. I'll never forget it. It was a little basketball keychain. It was so dumb. Like, why did I want this basketball keychain so hard? I think because it was small, and like I love small things, like miniature things. Oh, I love miniatures. Oh no, like I don't collect them or anything like that, but I just love seeing like things in mini form or like kitschy kind of stuff, kitschy or like gimmicky kind of stuff. Like I love that kind of stuff, even though it's like some people think it's like ugly or like dumb or like kind of like wasteful at times. It can be, but I still really like it. I still really love stuff like that. And I was like, Ma, I want this keychain, and she's like, No, it's too expensive. We're here to get clothes and stuff. I was like, but I really want it. It's not that expensive. Like, I don't even remember how much it cost or anything. I just remember telling my mom I really wanted this. And she was just like, no, like, we're here to get you clothes. Like, we can get other things. And I remember I was like mad. I was like, oh, like, why? And I was like, tell me why. I had this crazy idea. I'm like, well, what if, you know, I accidentally put it in like the pocket of these like pants that my mom's gonna buy me, and like my mom doesn't notice, and like the cashier doesn't notice, and like if the alarm goes off, like they'll just look at all the clothes and be like, "Oh, you're fine." They won't see the keychain. They'll let us pass anyway. Like they'll just say it's like an issue with the machine. So I did it, and I got away with it. And I was like, "Oh," and oh man, it was so bad. And I tested it. I tested myself. I started taking things from like the dollar store, because I remember I used to like going there too. Like, oh my god, I love the dollar store. This is how I'm like kind of like, I don't know, like an addictive personality, and like I'm a big consumer too. Like I love to shop. Like it's so bad. Um, and I love to shop for cheap things, which is even worse. But anyway, I loved going to the dollar store. I love looking at the notebooks, the crayons, the activity books, little toys, all the different stuff they had. I just love looking and like looking at stuff. And I kind of started. Oh, one thing I used to steal a lot is makeup. And I used to steal makeup because my mom would tell me I can't wear it until like I'm like 30 or some shit. Like that's what my parents would always tell me. Like you can't date till you're 30. You can't get married till you're 30. You can't move out till you're 30. You can't do this and that till you're 30. And I'm like, ugh. Or like, or not 30, like older, I guess, basically, till you're an adult or you're married or whatever. Like basically when we have no more control over you. And it's funny because I'm almost 30 now. But what I was saying was, yeah, like, ever since I got away with the little basketball keychain, like, I started taking little things. I remember I took, like, a little blue lipstick from the dollar store, and I feel like, I feel like someone caught me that time, too. Like, someone was like, did you take that? And I was like, no, I bought it. And they're like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah. But I think it was I don't think it was a cashier. I think it was, like, my aunt or something that used to take care of me. I kind of want to ask her, but I don't think she'll remember. But I don't know, like someone like kind of like they were suspicious, and I was just like no, no, like I lied to their face, and like I was like, I gotta believe that I might lie, and they'll believe me because they'll think, because if I act like I'm telling the truth, then it's like I'm innocent because I didn't know it was bad or something like that. See, this is how I was thinking when I was like 7. So like, what? I was a crazy kid. Now that I think about it, like, I've always been crazy, and I just try to suppress it until recently. I realized, oh, I'm not actually this like quiet, nice person. I'm actually kind of crazy, and like I can't just suppress it. I just have to like balance it, basically. Um, uh, but anyway, yeah, I used to steal, and then when that happened, when I almost got caught stealing from the dollar store, I was like, all right, I have to like be way better at this because they're gonna catch me. And oh man, it got worse. It got worse though because, whew. So I think this happened when I was in like third grade. Yeah, I was like in third grade. I was like 7, 8. I think I was probably about to turn 8. But I remember, um, in third grade, um, I don't know if this was like a thing that was, I don't know if like this was like I don't even know how this happened, but in third grade, I remember like during the middle of the like halfway through the morning, the teacher would have like a little like a break time for us, and she would let students like bring their snacks, and so like students could have snacks like before their lunch break, so they're not like starving. And I don't know, I always wondered like um why we did that. I feel like only my class and maybe like one other class would do that like at the same time during the day, like just let their students out and like have a snack and like stretch and stuff like that. um yeah, I remember they kind of did that for a while, but oh, I think for at first the teachers was like, um I think at first they made it like a snack time, and then some kids asked if they could like walk around, or they were like, oh, we can't have food inside, so we have to go outside and do snacks. But it was like optional because not everyone could afford to bring like their own food and stuff. So the teacher would be like, oh, you can go outside or you can stay inside. Either way, we're just gonna take a little break. And the teacher would go outside with the kids, and I think maybe like one or two kids would stay behind. Um, but I remember like one day, and I don't know, to be honest, now that I think about it, I don't know how often I did this. Um, but eventually, like they noticed like that stuff was going missing, or maybe it was just one. I have no idea. I'm such a bad kid. Okay, so this is what happened. All right, so I'm in third grade. We're in class, and I remember there was this girl. Cause you know how kids like they get something cool and like they bring it to school. They show it off to everyone. They get in trouble and stuff. But this girl, she had this lip gloss, and I don't even think she was like showing it off to anybody. I think I just saw it and I was like, I want that. Like, this is how I was. So this girl, she had this I feel like it was the cutest thing ever. But there was this, she had this keychain. It was a lip gloss keychain, and it was the shape of a toilet. And you lift the little seat, and you like where the bowl is, like that's where the lip or the lip balm or whatever was, and like you rub it and you put it on. I was like, I need that. Like I saw that, I was like, I need it, and I already knew. I learned. This is how early I learned. When you see something you want, you can just take it, and if no one fights back, then it's yours. Like that's what I learned from taking that basketball. So this was I waited till like I saw her keychain, and I was like, dang, I really want that keychain. And I was like, my mom would never buy me that. Like they would never let me have that. I was like, I have to just, get it the only way I know how to get it. Just take it for myself. And so I waited until we had that little break time, and I I don't even remember if like part of me was like, I feel like I should go outside and then pretend I forgot something, come back in, and then go back outside again. I don't know if I did that or I was just like, whatever, I'm chilling here. Um, no, I think I acted like I was outside and then just pretended like I forgot something on the inside and went back in and then came back out because yeah, I remember I went inside, no one was in there. I quickly went to like her desk. I I think I took her keychain off her backpack or it was I was on her desk or something like that. I took it and then what I did was I put it inside of my backpack and I kind of hid it just in case because I was like they're gonna search my bag. I gotta hide it. And then I just went back outside and blah blah blah. I feel like nothing, everything was cool. We came back in and I don't remember if it was the same day, but like the girl realizes her shit's missing. She tells the teacher, and the teacher's like, I don't know if she like announced it. I think she was like, oh, can anybody look and see if like her little lip gloss is missing or she dropped it somewhere, blah blah blah. Like maybe you lost it first. Don't go accusing people first, right? Wow, this is like the worst thing I've ever done. I feel like no, I've done worse, but as a kid, this is like the worst thing I've ever done. Like so, they were like, first they're like, let's look for it. Can't find it. Okay, all right. Now moving on to phase two. When was the last time you saw it? Oh, before the break. Oh, okay. Who was in here during the break? We're looking around. I think they said it was me and like another person. And so, like, Marysol, did you take it? And I was like, no. Like, I don't know how good my face was because I'm a bad. Like, I feel like now I'm a bad liar. Unless I'm like believing my lie, then I'll probably like be able to play it off. But if not, if I actively know I'm lying, I feel guilty about it. I'm not gonna lie. But maybe it's because of that. But yeah, they asked me, and I straight up lied. I was like, nope. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna have to look through your. They didn't look through my backpack because I think that's technically illegal here in the U.S. You can't look through a kid's backpack like that. And I think kids can actually should aren't able to consent to that. Um, well, you know how it is here. People like to find loopholes and stuff. But anyways, um, she didn't look through my bag, but we did have our own little like the little pencil boxes that people buy and like you put like your pencils, crayons, erasers, like basically all your little like pencils and stuff in there, and like you're good. Like everybody had their own. That way, like they don't have to worry about bringing like a backpack and stuff. You just leave your stuff there. So they checked that because they thought maybe I hid it in there, but I was like, nope, I'm too smart for that. They looked in there. They like looked inside the desk because like the desk had little holes in them. This was back then. But they looked through there. They didn't find it. They looked around one more time, and I'm pretty sure they would have searched my bag, but I think they just didn't. They didn't want to like do that to me. I don't think they wanted to like put some kid through that. Which is like a good thing looking back, but um I don't know. Like now that I think about that, looking back, like I was really fucking lucky because I'm pretty sure if I was like a guy, if I was like a boy, or like if I wasn't like as white as I am, or not even that, maybe just like the school, maybe if it was a different school, they probably would have looked through my bag anyway. And who knows what would have happened to me like if they did find it like um I don't know, that could have gone wrong so many ways. And I could have taken that as like, like I don't know, I could have just like instead of seeing like, oh yeah, I took it, I was wrong, like I could have been like, wow, like they will just like do anything to anybody out here. Like doesn't matter what you do, they're gonna like punish you. Like that could have been like the mindset I would have gone in after that, and then like I would have been a lost cause after that, to be honest. But no, I ended up getting away with it, and it's funny because that same day, even though I was able to like keep it and I got away with it, just the fact that like they knew, like I'm pretty sure they knew it was me. They knew it was me. Like I was the only one in there, I saw it. I don't know if I sat near her. I don't remember if she sat at my table or not. Well, it's like I knew about it. I was probably like the only one in there that was alone for like a second. And I probably had like I probably looked guilty. I don't even know how. I don't remember that well. Like I'm pretty sure I'm not a good liar. Especially now. Um, but yeah, like who knows? Like, but after that, because I almost got caught, I was like, okay, I can't do this no more. Cause I might get in trouble the next time for sure. They're gonna know me for sure, and like I'll be ruined. Like my school career will be ruined. That was my train of thought, and so I kind of stopped for a while. But I think I did. I still occasionally would steal from stores. Um, and then it wasn't until like, yeah, I went to Catholic school and I did my confession. I did confess that I used to steal from people, and I remember the pastor was like, he's like, okay, you're forgiven, but stealing, that is very serious. You gotta stop right now because blah blah blah. You're gonna be a criminal and all this stuff. And I was like, okay. I think they're like two Hail Marys and that's it. That was like, that's it. Like I feel like yeah, that's technically the end of like my stealing days, but I'm not gonna lie, like I thought about it, like there's so many times after that every time I would see something and I couldn't afford it, I thought I could just steal it, but I knew I shouldn't because it was wrong. So yeah. So when people say they need to go to church to feel better, it's like no, I just need to take accountability and be shamed for um I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what was going through my mind. Like, almost getting caught and, like, knowing that, people were already watching me and, like, they knew it was me. I think that just made me stop altogether and, like, just, like, think more about it and, like, yeah, I don't know. Who knows where it could have gone, but, it just ended there, I guess.